Hey everybody, it's me, Amanda. I am here today in my living room, which is about to get a whole lot less cluttered. We just found out that our eldest daughter, who lives out here with us in Oregon, who had been staying in the house with us, is she's going to be moving out this weekend. So her and her boyfriend got an apartment. I'm really excited for them. It's their first official place. I mean, they were living in a trailer on the property originally, and then they were doing some remodeling, and then it was just like one thing and after another, and they wound up in our living room. So um, hopefully the next time I do a living room video, it'll be a little bit less cluttered and a little bit less chaotic and a little bit less like here. But I wanted to show you guys something. I'm not the type to typically hop on internet trends. I'm really, I don't know. I'm kind of like anti-trendy, I guess. If it's trendy, I typically don't want much to do with it. I guess that's just me being an old lady or something. But this one, guys, I had to hop on. I don't know if you guys have seen this on social media, but it is a photo organizer that you can get at Michael's. Now you're probably thinking, Amanda, this is a homesteading channel. Why are we talking about photo organizers? And I'll show you. So, I don't have photos in here. And if you've seen the internet trend that I'm talking about, you know what's in here. This is where I'm storing my seeds. I love this thing. Okay, I got home last night because we went out last night and picked it up. I got home last night and immediately I put all of my seeds that I've gotten in here and got them all nice and organized, like categorized them. I'm thinking about getting like little labels to put on the sides here because, you know, this is the side that faces up in the container. So to be able to just easily like pop it open and go, okay, these are the root vegetables, these are the tomatoes, these are the lettuce or the leafy greens. That's going to be a really nice thing to do eventually. I'm not too super worried about it at the moment. Now, this is pretty full. I have a confession. My name's Amanda, and I'm a seedaholic. I I have bought so many seeds over the past few weeks. I don't even know where I'm gonna plant all this, guys. I really have gone a little bit overboard, but I'm not mad at it, honestly. And I'm not done either. There's some more tomato varieties that I want to hop on and get some seeds for. I definitely want to get some lemon cucumbers. I don't have those yet. And I think there was like one or two other things that I still wanted to get a couple more things just to be able to have them on hand and have some variety available. But I want to show you guys the box of seeds that I am most excited for. It's my sunflowers, guys. I love sunflowers. When we lived in Wisconsin, we actually used to go to this apple orchard, and they also had a field of sunflowers, and every year they would do like a pick your own apple event, and then you could also pick your own sunflowers. They would give you a pair of clippers, and you would go through the fields, and you would pick out the heads you want, and then you would pay by the stem or by the head based on the flower variety. It was always a great time. We enjoyed it. The kids would love to go pick out the sunflowers, and we would buy some ones that were good for seeds and try to save the seeds, which I haven't successfully done yet, like saved and roasted sunflower seeds. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to learn because, guys, I have a lot of sunflowers. I've got, I don't even know how to say that. pastiche. They're gorgeous though. Look at how beautiful they are. Then these are the mammoth sunflowers. And they're supposed to have really big heads that can be like a foot across. I'm probably going to butcher all these names, guys. Soraya, I think, is how you say these. Look at how gorgeous those are. Nice orangey color. And then these are the evening sun. And those are gorgeous. I can't wait to plant these. I'm so excited. I'm going to have all these gorgeous flowers. And then we've got the red sun. It's so pretty, right? Like, this is just an heirloom mix. And I think that some of these are probably similar to the varieties that I already have here. But, whatever. I mean, oh no. Not more seeds, right, guys? The lemon queen sunflower. That's a really beautiful yellow variety. And then I've got the velvet queen and lemon queen in this one. It's another kind of a mix. And then these are the drop dead reds. And I think this is also, it's a designer mix of gorgeous sunflowers. Mogue red, or no, sorry. Moulin Rouge, Red Wave, Ruby Eclipse, and Joker. So these are not any duplicates of anything else I have. I have decided I'm going to maybe buy one more variety. I want to get ones that have the mammoth heads. And I want to try to use those to save seeds to roast. My husband is kind of like, what are you going to do with all these seeds? And I'm hoping that I have room to plant most of it. Seeds can save though. So one of the things that I didn't know when I started gardening was that, you know, if you go to the store and you buy some of these seed packages, trying to see if I can find one, you'll see that they have these little sell-by dates down here, okay? Ignore it. Ignore it. Act like it doesn't exist. If you store your seeds properly, you should be able to maintain pretty good germination rates through however long you have your seeds. People have had seeds from literally hundreds of years ago that they've planted and they've grown and they've sprouted and they've produced flowers and fruit. And the only thing you might have to take into account is if you have some seeds that are a little older, there might be a lower germination rate. One of the things I plan on doing with the seeds after I'm done planting for the season is probably going to seal everything in little Mylar baggies. Or maybe I have to look into it and do some research. So definitely don't take this advice as something you should do, but I'm considering the possibility of, like, can you vacuum seal seeds? That's something I'm going to be looking into. But the date on your sell-by, all it's saying is that you're going to have the most effective germination rates with the seed in that packaging before that sell-by date. Companies don't want to have their seeds on the market on the store shelves, and they sell them and say somebody only gets, like, you know, if it's something that germinates really easily, if they're getting a really crappy germination rate, the company doesn't want to be blamed for that. They don't want to take the responsibility for the fact that those seeds aren't as likely to germinate as maybe some newer seeds might be. That's the only reason why that date is on that package. They don't go bad. They don't go rancid. There's not any problem with the seeds. The only thing is, if you leave it, especially like in these little paper packages, I mean, you could even do a zippy bag, something that's a little bit more airtight than this, because this is just paper. So this is going to let in a lot more oxygen. It's going to let in a lot more things that are going to help your seeds have lower germination rates. If you have them in something airtight, you keep them in a cool, dry place. A lot of people keep seeds in their fridge or their freezer or in their basement, someplace cool, dry, and not, I also heard something about not in like direct sunlight. So if you can keep your seeds someplace like that, then you're good to go. Right now I am keeping some seeds in my freezer that my daughter bought me for me last year. They're just some herbs and stuff that she got for me, but they're in my freezer. They've been in my freezer. I don't plan on taking them out until I'm gonna germinate them and start planting. So that is kind of where that's at with all of these seeds. I do want to do a video about where I bought some of these seeds from. I don't know that I'm going to do that for this video, just because I wanted to talk more specifically about how to properly store your seeds and about this cool little internet trend. I mean, it's perfect. And the thing I like about this is that I have a chest freezer, and this is going to fit in my chest freezer. So my plan is to store these in the freezer too, so that I can try to preserve some of the germination rates, because I do have more than I think I'm going to be able to plant this year. But I'm also planning on starting seedlings and selling them either on Facebook Marketplace, or I've been looking at some local farmers markets to see about how much it costs to rent a stall to be able to sell some of the seed starts, and then eventually sell some of the produce that I'm going to create in the garden, because you know, this is going to be my first year pressure canning. So I know there's going to be a learning curve with that. I know how to water bath can, so I know that that's going to be, and really pressure canning is similar. It just does come with its own set of guidelines that you have to follow. There's different times that you need to can things, different pressures they need to be canned at. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. I've done dehydrating before, so I definitely plan on canning and dehydrating a lot of what we're going to grow. Obviously we'll be eating fresh too, but I want to try to preserve some of our harvest for our family in those ways. But I also know that, like, I'm a person who's got a job, who works outside of my homestead. I have fibromyalgia, which is not anywhere near as bad in the summer, thankfully. Like, the summertime I probably will have almost no pain. Winter here has been a little rough for me, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was when I was in Wisconsin. I was telling Troy last night that the winter here is the difference between, like, my pain level is kind of what it would be at like fall or spring in Wisconsin. And like winters in Wisconsin were really bad. There were times where, you know, I was in so much pain it was hard to get out of bed. So even though I'm still having rough body times, like, it's better. So, but I know that in the summertime, when I will be needing to do the canning, because that's when everything will be coming out of the garden, is, you know, summer and early fall, and some in the spring too, probably. I'll be in a position to start to process some of those things. My body will be happier, but I also know realistically, like, everything that I'm going to want to grow, I'm probably not going to be able to process it all, because, I mean, guys, there's a lot of seeds in here, a lot. So the idea of being able to take some of my starts and sell them, the idea of being able to sell some of the vegetables, it will help offset the cost of the seeds that I've purchased, which I have spent a nice chunk of change on seeds this year. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but I did buy seeds for not just us. I bought seeds for my family as well. I'm sending out some seed packages to them just as little gifts, you know, and for them to just grow if they can. I'm really excited about the heirloom varieties. I think for me personally, like my mind was blown the first time I opened up the heirloom seed catalog. Like, holy cow, guys, there are so many different kinds of vegetables and fruits that I never even knew existed. And I'm excited to grow all of them. And it's not realistic. I mean, I only have a half acre here, but I am going to try to really maximize my growing space. I'm looking into different permaculture methods. I know that I'm not going to be able to do a full permaculture garden this year. I'm hoping maybe next year to start like a mini food forest, possibly here at this property. And then, you know, we'll kind of see where things go from there. But it's really exciting to see all the different varieties that you can't find in the grocery stores, and then know that you can just plop some seeds in some dirt. And I mean, you know, you have to tend to them and make sure they're getting enough sun, and then they have warmth to germinate and all of that. But then once they start going, you get food, and you get some of these varieties of stuff is just crazy to me. Like, um, let me see. So when you think of a tomato, right? You think of, it doesn't have a picture. This is just a red tomato. But then there's these. And you might have seen these at the grocery store, the little yellow pear tomatoes. Those, some grocery stores carry stuff like that. But what about this one? It's a stripy tomato. It's a pineapple tomato. And apparently it has a fruity kind of flavor to it, and they're low acid, and the right balance of sweet and tangy is what it says. There's the Cherokee Purple, which, that's a cool looking tomato, guys. You're not going to find a tomato like that in the store. And then there's tomatillos, which I put in with my tomatoes because I figure they're, you know, like in my brain they're kind of sort of the same. They start with the same letter. I know they're not the same, but you know, that's my logic. I've never seen yellow tomatillo before in my life. I've also never seen a purple tomatillo. Like, craziness. And that's just the tomatoes. I mean, carrots, don't get me started on carrots. There's 10 million different colors of carrots. They all have different flavors. I did buy some black nebula carrot seeds. If you're not familiar with black nebula carrots, Google it real quick. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. I hope they taste delicious too, but they are gorgeous. I have a lot of different lettuces. I showed you guys my varieties of sunflowers. And then I have a whole thing of like different herbs. I'm super excited for my herb garden, guys. I'm the kind of person who has a massive spice cabinet. Like, there are so many spices in my house. And the idea that I can grow my own herbs and spices, you know, the sage, parsley, rosemary, cilantro, lavender, oregano, thyme, dill, chives. I mean, it's going to be awesome. And I'm not going to be able to use all this fresh, but stick it in a dehydrator, grind it up, leave it as it is. You can even take your herbs and hang them upside down and let them air dry. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I had to share it with you guys. I had to show you the one internet trend that I hopped on, and you know, hopefully inspired you to go out and get some heirloom seeds of your own. You don't have to have a big garden. You don't have to have a half an acre. I mean, my half acre is pretty small when it comes to homesteading, but you don't have to have a half an acre. If you have a bucket, you can start a garden. Well, you can at least start a plant. Go out and get a seed. Get some heirloom varieties. Try something different this year if you already are gardening. Getting excited about growing your own food is kind of a crazy feeling. It's rewarding, and it's also very interesting to see the looks that you get from your friends and family when you tell them about how you're the crazy chicken lady, crazy seed lady, crazy almost gonna be goat lady this spring. Yeah, stay tuned, guys. We're getting goats this spring. But you know, it's exciting. It's really exciting, and I'm really glad that I'm able to go on this journey and kind of share it with you guys. So if you have any questions about seed varieties or seed companies, I'm going to try to link some in the description below, some of the ones that I've used. Um, I'm also going to be doing a video about the different varieties of seed or companies that I have purchased from. Obviously, I haven't planted anything yet, so I can't tell you about germination rates, but I can at least tell you about prices and who I think is most affordable and all of that. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.